and welcome back to Call She Confessions. Today I have a very special guest. She is a TV host and actress, and if you've ever seen the Jennifer Hudson Show, you've definitely seen her face. I have Amy Paffrath on the podcast.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Mia. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm
It's
so
a pleasure.
excited.
Me too.
Yes. So we met. I went to a taping of the Jennifer Hudson Show.
I remember it well.
Yes. And I had just gone as a guest because I wanted to see the behind the scenes, and my friend invited me, and I was like, I would love to go. And I happened to get picked to do the morning save segment with you. Yes.
That was so cool, and it was so nice to meet you backstage. That's part of what my ritual is getting to know the person just briefly, say hello so that maybe calm your nerves, and so you know who's going to be in the segment with you, and that gives us a little bit of a connection. And it was really nice to see you, and I'm glad you got called up. And now I've followed you, and I know what you're up to, and you're an incredible dancer, and now this amazing podcast. So it's great to be a part of your journey from the start.
Thanks. Yeah, and you definitely did make me feel so much more calm and welcomed, and it was just so great getting to talk with you backstage.
I'm glad to hear that because it means, connection is everything to me. So just meeting people is the biggest perk of my job. And so just having you there, it's just really fun to get to know, like, who's coming on the segment. I like to see, where are you from? Are you visiting? Are you from here? Everyone has a story. And so it was just cool to get a little glimpse of yours. Yeah.
So let's take it back
Let's
to
do it.
Amy as a child.
Oh
You
my
grew up
gosh.
in Missouri.
Yes.
So what were you like as a kid? What interests did you have?
Oh, wow. I was a real outdoorsy kind of girl. We were always playing outside. There was a tree in my front yard that I would climb all the time. We had a creek out back, so we would explore. We were kind of like kicked out of the house and then come back when the street lights come on. That was kind of my childhood because I'm one of 7 children. So all in the same house, not stepkids, like same family.
Wow.
So it was a lot going on. My mom had a lot on her plate. So we were really, all that to be said, we also were in like organized sports and things. So I played soccer. I played literally everything just to keep us busy and to keep us involved and athletic and give us that outlet, that energetic outlet. But yeah, I was a creative kid. We would put on plays and we would charge admission. And so a little entrepreneur.
Yes.
We would go to my grandma's every Saturday night and we would put on like a newscast and we would make everyone come down to the basement and we would charge them to come down. So we'd make a little money and then we'd give this newscast.
I love that.
And it was really funny and really fun and just gave us a way to entertain but also express ourselves. So it was pretty fun. Yeah.
My sister and I actually did the same thing.
Really?
We would put on our own newscast. I would call it like the Ariel and Mia show. And we would charge her. And not my grandfather, my dad was like, I'll give you an IOU.
He knew what you were up to.
Yeah.
We would make lottery tickets too with like a silver crayon and like nobody would ever win. That's the lottery. There are no winners here. We were always trying to make a buck, which was, as kids, you got to find some way.
Right. And there's that, like, you're performing for your family and that entrepreneurial aspect too.
Yeah. A little bit of everything.
Yeah. So it's so cool that you performed growing up and put on plays and now what you're doing now in front of the camera and stuff. So when did you know you wanted to take that hobby and like something that was just so fun for you as a kid and make it something serious?
Interestingly, when I was in the Girl Scouts, I was about 8 years old. I remember we were doing like a puffy paint art and I made a shirt that said California Dreamin'. So for some reason, this California dream was in my heart from a very young age. Probably because I grew up with shows like California Dreams, which was like Saved by the Bell, but like a spinoff. It wasn't a spinoff, but they were on at the same time. It took place on the beach and it looked just so idyllic. And anytime like Saved by the Bell went to Malibu, I was like, oh my God, it was just starry-eyed. I wanted that lifestyle. So that was really the first spark in me, was like, I'm going to live in California. Then for like my 5th grade, we had to pick states and do a state fair. I picked California. I made the Hollywood sign out of like plaster Paris. And my dad helped me build like a representation of like the Golden Gate Bridge. And I just was obsessed. We set up a video camera with a TV and kids could walk by and like see themselves on it. So there was just this dream from a very young age that I can't really explain what it was, but again, maybe from watching TV. And I just wanted to be a part of that. And I think being a middle child, I'm one of 5 kids in the middle. I wanted to be noticed. I wanted attention.
Yeah.
And after I've done a lot of mining and therapy, and so I can say like part of that was like wanting to be seen.
Yeah.
So I now understand what was that initial motivation. I ended up going to journalism school because I love talking to people. Like I told you, people will just sit and tell me things and open up to me
Yes.
in a way that's really nurturing and felt good to me. And I thought this is a really good skill for journalism.
Yeah.
So it's an in-state school where I went, the University of Missouri. They have one of the best broadcast journalism programs in the world. So it just made sense on paper. And so I studied journalism knowing that that skill set would serve me well rather than studying theater or something like that, where if I didn't go into, being on Broadway or something, that what would I do with that? So
Right.
I thought in practical terms because I didn't have a safety net. My parents were not bankrolling any of this. They couldn't afford to. So it was
Yeah.
on me. And so I was trying to come at it from a practical perspective, which I think really did work out pretty well for me because
Yeah.
when I came here, then I started to take acting classes with the best teachers in Los Angeles. So I
Right.
knew that that would be at my disposal. And having a theater degree wouldn't necessarily have helped me so much. So that was sort of my thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny hearing you talk because I just feel like so similar.
Really?
Yes, yes. Like everything that you said, I'm like, yes, I totally relate. That is exactly
Wow.
the way I feel about it too.
That's
Like
amazing.
how you said this like California dream and you just felt like kind of like it was a calling
Yeah,
to
it
be
was.
here. It's the same way I felt. There's like a video of me 8 years old dancing around the kitchen like I'm gonna live in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like
Is
like
it the media? Like, what is it? I grew up with
yeah.
like Bop magazine too. So, like,
Yeah.
feeling the celebrity of it all and wanting to be involved in that world. So, I think part of that was that. But then there's just this inner knowing. And we've talked
Yes.
about our zodiac signs. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
ocean. Maybe it was to get closer to, the Pacific Ocean and be near the water because it's so
Yeah.
calming and soothing. And now I realize that it was a feeling that I was chasing, which
Yeah.
it's this when I'm roller skating on the Santa Monica boardwalk, like that is it. That
Yeah.
was it. It's not being on a show. It's not being like chosen for something. It's literally that's my Tuesday, And I
Yeah.
feel so lucky that that's what I get to do with my life.
Absolutely. And like roller skating on Santa Monica versus, being from Philly, it's like cloudy and
Yeah.
rainy. Love it there, but it's different.
Yeah, it really is different. There is something very special about Los Angeles with all of its problems. I'm not saying it's a perfect city, but we
Right.
do have incredible weather and no one can take
Yes.
that away from us, and it's year round. So,
Yes.
and we have everything from, the beach to the mountains and the desert at our disposal.
Right.
So it is, you can change it up if you don't like it. Drive a
Yeah.
few miles and you're somewhere different,
Exactly. Yeah. No seasonal depression
Yes,
here.
I mean, Missouri was like that too. There were some bleak winters where you wouldn't see the
Yeah.
sun for months, and it really does affect your psyche. So
Yeah.
I needed the sunshine and the vitamin D and the vitamin C.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So you went to college for journalism.
I did.
I went to school for media production kind of for the same reasons. A lot of people thought I would go for dance, but I was like,
Mhm.
I'm dancing outside of school
Yeah.
already and building that outside of school. And if I'm going to do this, I want to spend my time studying something, another interest of mine, or
Sure.
something I could fall back on, or something that I would learn other skills that would help my goal.
Would round you out.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's such a smart way to go at it because, yeah, you're already doing the dance. The dance is there. You
Right.
firmly established that. Same for me. It was like I was dabbling in plays. I was doing
Yeah.
creative outlets. I had a creative outlet. So learning practical skills, how to shoot, how to edit,
Yeah.
how to write was essential. And I did have some early professors try to steer me into communications because they knew my goal, my end goal was to be in entertainment.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, I don't know how, this is going to translate. And this is for more serious journalists. But I stood my ground and stayed in it. And then when I moved here, they started sending students to me to talk to me about how
Wow.
I made this happen. So because it is starting to become, there's so many outlets too for celebrity news and
Yeah.
journalists are getting those jobs. So it really was a translatable skill. And I'm really glad that I have that degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how rewarding to then be able to talk to students that want to be in your shoes and,
Yeah.
and being able to share that advice with them.
It's very full circle and very validating that what I did work out for me. And if I can
Yeah.
help anyone else on their journey, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you have any like internships in college or any classes that really stood out to you?
Yeah, surprisingly, I got an internship at Entertainment Tonight, where I'm currently working, which is crazy to me because it's not generally the trajectory that you go
Right.
from intern to being
Right.
on air. And that wasn't
Yeah.
the leap, it was many years later. So I was there in 2004, working in the tape vault, pulling tape for the producers, the editors, helping the photo editor select photos. So I
Mm.
got to see all these different aspects of it.
Yeah.
I was in the booth with the talent when they were voicing their pieces, which was
Oh.
so cool to just get that whole perspective of how the show is put together.
Right.
And then many, many years later, I started working with Morning Save, and they had a partnership with Entertainment Tonight, and that's how I ended up on air there. So very strange journey that took me right back there, and I never would have expected that, but it's such a great place to work, and it's really cool. It's at a different lot than when I was there originally. It was at
Okay.
Paramount, now it's at CBS Radford, so a little bit different experience, but it is a dream. It really was I was so starry-eyed when I first started there, and I would get up at we had to start at 7 in the morning, and this was when I was
Wow.
20 years old, so I was definitely burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would go out at night and then
Yes.
wake up early, drink some
Yes.
chocolate milk, and like eat a donut. I was not
Yeah.
healthy at all, but I would bounce back because I was so energized about
Yeah.
doing it and just being in this city. It was so exciting to me. So it was so fun to do that. And yeah, I can't believe I'm actually there on air now.
Yeah, that's so full
It
circle and
really
so
is.
cool.
It is.
Yeah. What advice would you give to interns currently on how to stand out as an intern and do the job well?
I think just show up and do your best, honestly,
Yeah.
because nobody came back to me and was like, you, that intern from 2004. That's not how it happened. So it's
Right.
just like, I think don't have expectations. I hate to say that, but like just show up and do the job and
Yeah.
learn. If you show up wanting to be picked for something else, like you might be let down because that's really not what the internship is for.
Right.
It's for you to gain knowledge and to make some connections. Sure, stay in touch with people, but make that authentic. It can't be to
Yeah.
like gain something. If you're there just to extract, then that's pretty obvious. But if
Yes.
you're there to learn and to really just like give what you can and learn about yourself, learn what lane you want to go in. That's really what internships are
Right.
about. Does this suit me? Do I like this? Do I want to get up at 7 in the morning and do this every day? It's to see what the job is and then to find your way to that job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good advice. Just like keeping an open mind because you could
Yes.
think you want to go into one lane, but
Yeah.
you might learn that you really like doing something else even more. And
Yes.
keeping that open mind and not closing yourself off because you already think you have it all figured out.
Right. You can't be so narrow about everything. I mean, I did come here with no backup plan, and I think that was a good idea for
Yeah.
me because if I had a fallback, and no shade to anyone who waits tables or is a server, I was a server for a very long time, but I did not want to move here and be a server because
Yeah.
I'm really good at being a server. And I knew that if I got into that flow, I would just be really good at being a server.
Right.
So I was like, there's no way I'm not working in the restaurant industry. And again, I get it. You need a survival job. But my
Yeah.
survival jobs were like marketing. They were street team, passing out things in Santa Monica or on Hollywood and Vine. And that's how I met
Yeah.
my husband, which I know is coming up eventually. But those were my survival jobs because it was more, it gave me flexibility to still be available to
Yeah.
audition and to show up for what I came here for. So
Right.
that would be my advice too, is to don't give it 6 months and then go home because nothing is going to happen in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but it takes a while. It takes a really long time to gain that momentum, and you really have to love being here above
Right.
all else. So like you came here because you wanted to be in Los Angeles, like fall in love with the city and then
Yeah.
everything else will come to you because you're happy here. If you're not happy here, then obviously switch it up, but
Right.
make this a place that you enjoy being.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
good advice again. I'm talking to a lot of people from college right now, and they're trying to figure out their next move, which is a big reason I started this podcast to try to help provide some guidance on that next move.
Yeah.
And one of my friends is talking about wanting to move out of her hometown to a big city, and she's working at a coffee shop right now, and she was like, I don't have a job lined up in that city though. But she's like, if I went, I don't want to just be doing what I'm already doing here,
Yeah.
like working at a coffee shop. If I'm going to do it, I want to, go out there and do what I want to do, produce, make films.
Yes.
And I like that of finding a job that fuels your passion, you know,
Yes.
because you do need, you know, that survival job or something that's going to help,
Yeah.
but something that gives you that freedom to go to those auditions or something
Mhm.
even related in the industry. You know,
Yeah.
you could want to be in front of the camera, but working behind the camera, which is just going to increase your knowledge of the industry as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really easy to move somewhere and do the same thing because it's safe and comfortable and you know it and you know it's solid, but it's going to keep you locked in doing that same thing.
Right.
So you'll be in the city, but you'll be so close, but so far, you know? So I think that's good advice to your friend. And I think it's lovely that you do this to help other people because, yeah, if we can give people the cheat code to
Exactly.
just not, it doesn't have to take years to get you going, it can take you a few months to get your feet
Yeah.
solidly on the ground, then great. But yeah, find some way in that doesn't suck up all your time because if all your time is being spent doing that, then you're just spinning the wheels to survive and you're not
Yeah.
getting any closer to the thing that you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, don't just give it 6 months
Yeah.
either, because one of the first friends I met out here, she was like, your first year might be a train wreck,
Yeah.
but once you make it past the first year, she's like, it's gonna get better. You just have to like you said, fall in love with the city, build your community.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
my first year was crazy, but I love it now, and I've met such great friends, and I love the work that I'm doing and the people that I've met. And you just have to, when you move somewhere new, you don't know what to expect, but you just have to kind of like learn as you go and build and give it time.
Yeah, absolutely. And finding the community is one of the hardest parts of being in
Yeah.
LA because it takes a while to find your people. So
Right.
also don't give up on it because of that.
Yeah.
Keep trying and keep going to new places where you can meet like-minded people
Yeah.
because it does take a while to find true ride or dies in a city where everybody's here for themselves somewhat, but there
Yeah.
are very authentic, incredible people here too. So
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to settle in, breathe, give it some time, and you'll find your way. Absolutely.
Yeah. So after college, did you move to LA right away?
I did. So I spent about 6 months trying to save up as much as I could, and then I came,
Okay.
knowing that I was coming as fast as I could.
Yeah.
And then I just it was never going to be enough. So I just came. I came with $1,000. It was literally nothing. I had
Wow.
no money, but I did it. And I was with a marketing agency in St. Louis, and I
Okay.
just transferred that to LA. And they said, when you come here, it might take you a while to get booked because there's so many people in the LA market. But I
Yeah.
got booked right away.
Oh,
So it was
amazing.
also this advice doesn't always translate. Like maybe
Right.
it'll take a minute, but it didn't. I started getting those jobs right away. And it was a thing where you could self-submit. It was called Encore Nationwide. I don't even know if they're out there anymore, but it
Okay.
was you log on and you see what jobs there are and you put yourself up for them. And so I was getting booked pretty frequently doing that. Like I said, street team marketing.
Yeah.
With different companies like Verizon Wireless or like the ASPCA, all different kinds of brand marketing things. And so that was keeping me busy. It was helping me pay my bills. And I still had no technology to my name. Like I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have
Wow.
a smartphone even. I mean, it was
It's- yeah.
2006.
It's so crazy
So-
to imagine
right?
life now without a phone.
I know. I
Yeah.
literally had to print out maps and then use them to
Wow.
drive around because there's no GPS in cars at this time. Like,
Wow.
what a difference. It feels ancient to talk about this. This was 20 years ago, which is crazy to think because I'm holding up so well.
You
But
are.
thank you. But I would go to like an internet cafe and log on for an hour and drink my drink and get my free hour and submit like crazy. And then I'd have to
Yeah.
go to the library later and use my free hour to see if I got anything. Like that was my
Wow.
day to day when I moved here. But it was also exhilarating and exciting. And when I
Yeah.
did get something, I was like, yes, like I did that. I did that
Yes.
without help. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have anyone doing that for me. It was really all me.
That's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it takes that like work ethic and hustle
Yeah.
and like falling in love with the process, because you have to
Yes.
love the process, because
Yeah.
it like you were so lucky to like book so quickly out
Yeah.
here, but not everyone's doing that. And so falling in love with the process, I think, is so important, because then when you do get that win, it'll feel so much bigger.
It was so rewarding. I also came
Yeah.
prepared. I will say that. I had an amazing professor, Stacy Wolfel. He knows how much I love him. He helped me create a demo tape. So when you leave journalism school, you have a resume tape, and it's all the work you've done for the news station. But that didn't really fit what I was trying to do. I still
Right.
have all that tape, but it wasn't really like what I was going for. So he and I went and shot things. We did like a fake music video countdown. We did like a DIY show. We put together a tape that was so specific, and it was my reel.
Yeah.
And I came with a reel. It wasn't actual footage, but it was me on camera, and that's all. Fake it till you make it, like
Exactly.
legit.
Yeah.
So I would submit that, and that's what was getting me auditions, was because I had that. I didn't come here and try to build a reel. I came ready. I came with headshots. I came with my reel, and I hit the ground running. That's why I was able to book right off the bat, because I didn't have to build that up. It was here. It was ready.
That's really smart too, because also LA is a more saturated market. So it might be easier to be able to create those materials or do some short films in other cities and create that reel before then coming out here.
With the tools at our disposal now, there's really no excuse for you not to do that. You know, like you can shoot it on your iPhone and put something together that just shows you on camera and your personality.
Right.
That's all that anyone really wants to see. It doesn't have to be the Jennifer Hudson Show, which is amazing, and I'm glad I have that, but it doesn't need to be that. The Jennifer Hudson Show just wants to see that you're how you are on camera in order to book you. That's it. So they don't care if it's a real show or not. It's just showing you on camera.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah, just having that footage, because you're right, you can do it on your phone, so there really is no excuse. It doesn't have to be the most well-shot thing you've ever created. But I think it's important to start and create that first thing, because then you can always improve upon it. But if you never take that initiative,
you can cut it out and put something new in. It's that simple. But yeah, you have to start. You have to start. Even these days, you know, like proof of concept. No one's going to just take your idea and make it. They want to see you make it.
Yeah.
Show us. Even if it's not perfect, just show us what you're thinking. Great. That'll get you somewhere, because it shows that initiative. Like, look what I've done already. Yeah. Think of what more I can do with resources. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what was the first job that you booked out here, either acting or hosting wise?
One of the first things, I went on Craigslist. Don't count Craigslist out. And I found a listing for hosting on DirecTV. And so they had me kind of come in and do pilots for them. So they would test out concepts and I would be their girl. And I also ended up doing voiceovers because of that. So I had a recurring voiceover gig, which was amazing because of that Craigslist ad. So I know all of these. I don't know if they're still posting jobs on there, but it's a place that you can look for free too. So there's no barrier to entry. You got to weed through some muck, I'm sure, but there is legit work on there. So that was one of my first jobs. Then I started auditioning like through Central Casting and Casting Networks and did some music videos, which was really fun. And one of the very first music videos I did was Paramore's Misery Business. And to this day, probably one of my favorite things I've ever done, because we didn't know what that song was going to be when we were filming this.
Right.
And now that I look back on it, like the label was there. They were very specific about the way my skirt laid, how my hair was done. And so I thought, like, they're paying a lot of attention to this. And like, we'd never heard of this band yet. And they were so kind and it was amazing. And then it blew up. Like, this was when TRL was on, and it was on in Times Square. And it's got over, I think, like 280 million views. Like, it's
insane.
It's still a bop, and it's fun to go back and watch it and to remember. And one of my dearest friends just came to visit me at the Jennifer Hudson Show, Doug Haley. He and I, we met actually on a non-paying spec commercial, and then we both got booked on that. So our trajectory is very in alignment. And so we got to just like hang out backstage together. And we're like, look at this. Look at what we've done from being threatened because we wouldn't do another free shoot for that same director. He said, you guys are never going to work in this town. And we were like, okay, watch us. Yeah. You're not going to pay us? Like,
it's not right.
Yeah, it's not right. So regarding free work, only do so much and then walk away. Save your dignity, because if people want things, they need to pay you.
Yeah.
You're worth something.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
That's so cool that you guys like started at the beginning of your careers together and now have, continued.
We've remained friends, and now he's doing so many different things, and he's still acting, but he's also with an agency. So it's really cool to see everyone sort of diversify, find their own groove, and just still be here and still be in love with it and still remaining close. So
yeah. And then, so how did then you get Morning Save and being on J-HUD?
So Morning Save came about. That was the first thing I booked off a self-tape, and maybe the only. So that was right during, I think it was during the pandemic or before. Trying to think. No, it was before the pandemic, because I didn't have my daughter, and she was born right before the pandemic. So I got this self-tape request from Morning Save that was like, it's a sales segment, and they sent me a couple of the items to just improvise with.
Yeah.
And so I made that self-tape, and then they offered me this gig with Entertainment Tonight, which was really fun. And so I started working there, and then cut to maybe 6 years later, I was still doing that, which was awesome because
Yeah.
having a steady job too in this industry is so underrated.
Yeah.
And once I got a taste of that stability in a way that was also flexible, was just amazing. I was so happy to have that job. I was at E for 3 years, and that was pretty stable, but
Yeah.
it was not flexible. And it was
Okay.
parts of it were good, but I also have a tough relationship with what that was and the
Okay.
time of my life. So
Yeah.
I won't go too much into that, but that stability, I was ready to leave if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But now with Morning Save, it's great because we shoot episodes. We shoot maybe 3 or 4 in a day at ET, and so then I'm free the rest of the week, the rest of and sometimes we shoot every other week, so it's really, really, really flexible.
Yeah, to have that one shoot day and then
Yeah.
have the rest of the time to have that work-life balance and
Yes.
just enjoy life, you know?
Yes, to enjoy the city that I really do
Yeah.
love exploring. And now that I have a little person to look after, it's even more fun, and it's opened up so much more because now I'm seeing it through the eyes of a child and through the parks departments and the libraries and so much more that the city has to offer, and I get to spend it with her. So it's really a dream job. So it
Yeah.
started off as self-tape, and then Entertainment Tonight actually ended the brand partnership with Morning Save.
Okay.
I got the call saying, like, we're no longer going to be doing this, which was a little bit devastating.
Yeah.
But I've been doing therapy for so long that I took that news, I took a deep breath, I breathed, and I thought, whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay because I'm always okay. I always
Yeah.
bounce back out of whatever. So I didn't stress. I didn't freak out. 2 days later, I kid you not, my agent called and said, Morning Save has another show for you. It's the Jennifer Hudson Show. Do you want to go onto that show? And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Count me in. So 2 days of being jobless, and I was
Wow.
on to another show. So I started working at JHUD, which was just a dream, totally incredible. I've never worked on a daytime talk show, so to see how that all works and to work with Jennifer, I mean, she's the most
Yeah.
warm, engaging. You got to spend a little bit of time with her.
Yeah.
She's the real deal. And everyone on her team is just really, I was like, when is the shoe going to drop? Because everyone's
Right.
so
So
happy
nice.
and so
Yeah.
nice, but it's the real thing.
It's
It's real.
amazing.
People show
Yeah.
up there and they give their all, and it shows in the spirit tunnels. It shows in the
Yes.
energy that reverberates in those hallways. So it's just incredible. And so then 6 months later, ET called me back and said, we actually canceled that other brand partnership. Can you come back? So I ended up working at both. So now I work at Entertainment Tonight and the Jennifer Hudson Show for Morning Save. So it couldn't have worked out any better if I
yeah.
had designed it myself.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to like let go and let God,
yes.
you know?
Yes.
It's not in my control, and sometimes it works
Right.
out far better than I could have ever imagined.
Absolutely.
So here I am with 2 great shows, and we'll see. Jennifer Hudson is coming back for season 5. I don't know if I'm involved yet, but I'm hoping that they call me and I get to go back.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. That just goes
Absolutely.
to show, you know?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. And it really is sometimes just a test, like, how much do you trust? How can you stay steady
Yeah.
in the chaos? Which I
Yeah.
haven't always been able to weather so well as a younger person, and through
Yeah.
I've had a lot of familial heartbreak in my life. I lost my dad at a young age. I lost my sister when I was young. So
Wow.
I've had a lot of grief in my life, and I haven't always processed it, but now that I have, it's made it easier to sit with discomfort. So yeah, that's some advice I'll give you is process your grief in real time, or it will come up
Yeah.
and bite you in the butt when you least expect it, and you'll have to face it one way or another.
Right.
So yeah, just go through it. Ride the wave.
Right.
That's what my sister always tells me, ride the wave. And now I have a wave on my arm. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
Water side.
Water.
But yeah, definitely. Like, it's important to process those hard things that you go through and kind of come to an acceptance with them
Yeah.
to be able to move on. But, you know, grief and trauma, like, it can hit you at random moments.
Yes.
And, you know, has a way of showing up in
Yes.
different things. But it's great that you've, you know, put in that time to heal and work through it. And, you know, now you have a better way of coping with things.
Absolutely. And I have so much love for my younger self who did not have the tools or skills.
Yeah.
I have no judgment for her. I lovingly hold her now. It's going to make me cry talking about this because you don't know what you don't know. And so
Yeah.
with some distance and growth and grace, I can now flow through life so much easier. So
Yeah.
no matter when it comes to you, give yourself just self-love and
Yeah.
inner child healing are essential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really beautiful. Like having that grace and love for your past self. Because
Yeah.
in another episode we talked about like that perfectionism or, being really hard on yourself and being
Yeah.
your own biggest critic, but it's so important to show yourself grace and to understand like you might not have reacted or done the things that you've done in your past now, but you can
Mhm.
understand why your younger self
Yeah.
did react that way and have compassion.
Yes, because
Yeah.
it makes sense in the circumstances.
Yeah.
Given everything you know now, of course, there's distance and you can look at it differently. But yeah, it is really important to give yourself that love because I was a
Yeah.
perfectionist for a very long time
Yeah.
and it didn't serve me well.
Right.
It really didn't. It made me wound up kind of hustle
Yeah.
culture. Nothing was enough. You kept wanting more and more and more. And now I'm at a place where I am just so like overflowing with gratitude for what I have and still being in this industry, but having a healthy relationship with it where it's not to be seen. I'm not
Yes.
trying to get attention and have everyone look at me. I am in a high profile job, but I also have a very low key life. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice balance. And
Absolutely.
you'll find me in my roller skates on a Tuesday. Just like blending in with the tourists because that's what I
Yeah.
want to be doing.
Yeah, it's such a nice place to be.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is.
So, what does a day on your call sheet look like?
A day on my call sheet, it depends. If JHUD is in season, then it's very busy. I'm
Okay.
there 3 to 4 days a week, depending on what's going on. Sometimes we film 2 to 3 segments in a day. It can be quite busy. Entertainment Tonight, I'm roughly every other week with that, which is great. On my days that I'm not working, sometimes I get a lot of voiceover auditions and I do those at home. I have a home studio, which is great. So I can just go down and do that on my own time. I do have a 6-year-old who is homeschooled. So that is a lot of fun. It's an adventure, and we try to make every day a little bit different so that
Yeah.
it's not just like replicating school at home.
Right.
We are really trying to shake that up a bit. So we go to the park every day. We have a favorite tree right now that we're going to sit under and calm our nervous systems and drink tea. And so we get a lot of outdoor time. We explore. There's so many cool things in the city. Like I've been saying, at Griffith Observatory, they have a live
Yeah.
narrated planetarium show. So if we're learning about the planets, we're going to go there
I love that.
and do like hands-on. We have an e-bike. So we ride our e-bike all over town. And it's fun. It's carefree. And it's really, she's a sensitive kid. So
Yeah.
my job is to just help her learn how to regulate. That's really important. And to diminish or reduce as many outer stresses as I can so that she
Yeah.
can flourish. So that goes to me too. That's like honoring my younger self by like eliminating things, eliminating hurry, eliminating like just unnecessary stress.
Yeah.
So my day-to-day is pretty much with her. And she has a lot of different classes she does. So my husband and I will tag team taking her to classes so that we get alone time. So I can watch a show without interruption.
Yeah.
But it's very homey, but it's also very adventurous. We explore a lot, but we also like to be cozy in our home.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. And as a kinesthetic learner myself, I really appreciate that if you're learning about the planets, you're going to go to a planetarium.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard for me in school. I struggled with ADHD, especially like when it came to standardized tests or having to sit at a desk
Yeah.
all day long. Like that's not the way I retain information. I need to be talking, like having conversations, like discussion.
Tactile, touching.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so that's so nice to hear that instead of just like here's a worksheet and do this, like you're also getting to have like these real moments
Yeah.
with the stuff that you're learning about.
Yeah, it's for her, but it's also, again, for me. It's for little me. It's for all of us. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think any of us really want to be stuck at a desk for 8 hours a day. Like,
Right.
it doesn't serve a lot of us. So,
Yeah.
how can we switch that up? And I am so grateful that I have that flexible schedule in order to do this. I don't go to a 9 to 5, so I
Yeah.
have the ability, and I know a lot of parents don't. So, I
Right.
definitely have the utmost gratitude for that
Yeah.
flexibility. But we take advantage of it at the same time because we do have that flexibility and
Yeah.
that choice to make a different choice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And in what you do now, you present on television, you're also an actress and auditioning. What skills do you think make that job easy? Or like, like how when you're performing, what skills do you think are important in doing that well?
I'd say being present. I
Yeah.
think yoga, of
Yes,
all the things I've done in
yes.
my life, have kept me the most grounded.
Yeah.
That breath work, oof, because going out in front of a live audience can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Especially my brother was in the hospital the past couple of months, so that was weighing on me sometimes when I would go to work, and like
Yeah.
not letting that get me, overwhelmed or bubble up inside of me. You do have to
Yeah.
find a way to put it aside, be present, show up. I really thrive off of that live audience. There's something that just like
Yes.
hits. And I always say in the rehearsal to my producer, I'm like, never trust my rehearsal because it's going to be flat. It's going to be boring. I'm going to make all kinds of mistakes, but that's what a rehearsal's for. I shouldn't be
Yes.
perfect during the rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's to work out the kinks. And then when that camera's on, the audience is there, watch. Just watch. It's something so different because, again, that energy, that shared energy that's happening in the room, I am totally feeding off of that.
Yeah.
So, and that breath work of just keeping myself calm and grounded, connecting with Jennifer, staying there with the person I'm with at Entertainment Tonight, like chit-chatting with my co-host. It's like, it's being there fully. I try
Yeah.
to keep my phone as far away from where I'm at as possible because none of that is mattering right now. It's really presence. Presence is the greatest skill you can have when you're an actor, an on-camera personality, anything, because I've been with talent that isn't present, and there's nothing more frustrating than trying to connect with someone who's like checked out or on their
Yeah.
phone. And there's something very special that happens when we're here together.
Yeah.
And that's what Jennifer, I think, does so well is she gives you her undivided attention.
Yeah.
She's not like, even after the segment is over and like you see it's, we're out of the segment technically, we're still talking to each other literally about what just happened. Like she's
Right.
not like, okay, what's next? We're still there. We're still stretching those moments. We're still, as long as we're there together, she's right there with me. So I think I'm
Yeah.
learning from watching her, and she's an EGOT winner. So there's a lot to be gleaned from her experience. It's just like being there, being fully
Yeah.
there.
Definitely being present. And
Yeah.
as a dancer, like I love live, performing in
Yes.
front of live audiences. It's just different. You feed off the energy of the
Yeah.
crowd, and you have to be present in that. You can't be thinking about, anything else at that moment. You want to be in it with you and the audience, and there's that shared connection, that shared experience, which there's just no other feeling.
There's
like
nothing
that.
like it. It's the flow
Yeah.
state. It's what we're all trying to get into. And it's that, I remember during the pandemic when we weren't going to concerts and all of that, there was a phrase that was like what we were missing, and it was collective effervescence, which means just like sharing that bubbliness together, the weightlessness of a moment, of going to a music festival and being with 100,000 people that are all on the same wavelength. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
like that. And you can only get that from being there. It's not from watching on a screen. It's like being part of it. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
special.
It definitely is. And so you balance acting and hosting and all these things as a multi hyphenate. How do you go into preparing for each of those things differently?
Acting, I wish was happening more right now. It's really
Yeah.
not, and that's okay because I am so busy with my hosting jobs that it would
Yeah.
be very hard to try and fit something else in. So it's on the back burner. It doesn't mean it's gone forever. The voiceover stuff can be a curveball when I'm really busy and now I have to put this audition on tape. So there's no real way that I balance it. It's just prioritizing. I live by a paper calendar. I always tell people, like, if I don't have my calendar, don't ask me if I can do anything because I actually have to consult it. Like,
Yes, me too.
I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah.
if I don't see it.
Right.
And that writing helps me remember so
Yeah.
that I know what's going on in my life. I don't like to be on my digital device more than I need to be. So I'm not a Google Calendar girl. It's not going to work for me. So that's how I operate. I look at what's going on and then prioritize, what needs to
Yeah.
happen first. And sometimes that means that self-care and yoga fall off my calendar. Unfortunately, I wish that could be like number one, but sometimes
Yeah.
it can't be because I now have a child who her needs do supersede mine.
Right.
But that doesn't mean like at the end of a day, I'm not going to squeeze that in and find some, settling for me. But you do have to prioritize what's the most important and then go from there. And then I love lists. I love crossing things off my
Yes,
list.
the to-do
So
list, checking it
yes,
off.
I have
Yeah.
these little like sticky tabs that like every day, what's your priority? So it really helps me stay grounded and focused. I also make it essential to put fun on my calendar too. It doesn't come last. It's like I'm always buying tickets to fun events. There's the library centennial event this weekend, which is at the Central Library, but I love books. I love reading. That building is so stunning.
Yeah.
So I bought tickets to that. That's been on my calendar for a couple months now. So like I have things like that through like my sister makes fun of me because I make plans 6 months out. And she's like, how do you know what you're doing? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to draw it toward me.
Yeah.
And if I can still go, great. So
Right.
I do make it a point. And even like we went to Huntington Gardens yesterday. It was my husband's birthday.
Nice.
So that's why we went. But doing that kind of thing with my daughter is super important. So I'll plan like Tuesdays. Burger Lounge has free kids meals. So we'll go
fun.
over to the beach on Tuesdays and we make that part of our routine.
Yeah.
So I love routine and structure. Because within that, you can find spontaneity, right?
Yeah.
Like it works really well for me. It works really well for her. And we're also, it means that we're going to go and have that fun time every Tuesday.
Yes.
We know it's coming.
Yeah. And
it's also a workout for me. So if I can't get a workout in, at least I'm roller skating.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And scheduling in that time to have fun.
Yeah.
I am a Google Calendar girl.
Yes.
It's color coded.
That's great. I'm so glad it works for you.
But I have to like schedule in that fun, or
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like I might want to do a Pilates class, but then something comes up and that has to fall off.
Yeah.
But it's having that balance and being able to like go to those events. I feel like that's what's a big thing that's made me fall in love with Los Angeles.
Yeah.
There's always things happening, whether it's a matcha event or a brand thing, they're doing a
Yes.
pop-up or something like that. And there's just so much to do. There's always something to do.
There's always something to do.
Yeah.
And my advice is buy 2 tickets if you can and then invite a friend.
Yeah,
Because they'll
definitely.
come. They'll come with you. And then you have built-in social time.
yes.
It's something you want to go to. You don't have to find the friend first. Buy the tickets. Then find the
Yeah.
friend.
I
That's
think
been
that's
my
smart.
greatest hack recently is like I just buy 2 tickets to anything. And if the person can pay, great. If they can't, also fine. I'm glad to take you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I'm in a position I can do that. And I know I always financially haven't been able to do that. But since I am, it's wonderful for me because it fills up my cup to get that social time
yeah.
and to go with someone because I do want to enjoy it with someone else.
yeah.
But it also shouldn't count you out. You could, solo friendly events happen all around this town too. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a good way to share time with someone or
Yeah.
go on a solo date.
yes,
You know?
date yourself.
yeah, yeah. So speaking of balancing professional life and personal life, you are married to Drew Seeley.
Yes.
He played Joey Parker in another Cinderella story. I'd be remiss not to mention that is my all-time favorite movie.
Wow.
I didn't just even like rent it. I like bought it. Like I
Oh my
love
gosh.
that film. And watching that growing up like really inspired me to want to be in this industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the dance element to it, I can totally understand why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like Selena's character was a dancer
Mhm.
and the dancing, the singing, the acting, like I was like, I want to be in a film like that where I can utilize my dance skills, my
Yeah.
acting skills. And so, yeah, I just had to say that.
Yes.
But
I mean, he would be so happy to hear that because
Oh.
he loved being a part of that. It's still to this day, one of his favorite projects, and he feels so grateful to be remembered in that way. And like, he's Joey Parker.
yeah.
Yes, it sticks with him. And people, the
Yeah.
fans really, really, really love that film. And it was great. I mean, Jane Lynch is in that movie and she's hysterical in it.
Yes.
It holds up after all these years. So.
Yes. When I have kids, it's like the
Yes.
first movie they're
Our
gonna
daughter hasn't
watch.
seen it yet, but she will
Aw,
soon.
yes.
Yeah.
And so the two of you met working when you were working for Verizon.
Yes.
Doing those, like the marketing jobs.
Yeah, during the early years when we were both hustling and trying to find our groove. He had already recorded High School Musical when we met. So
Okay.
I do remember the first time we met, it was at the Pacific Design Center. That was where we met for this like street team. They would tell us where we were going and give us all the details. And he had a Billboard magazine and he was showing a friend, like, this is my song. And it was number one and it was
Wow.
High School Musical. So he was as amazed as anyone that is what happened with that. It was just a gig that he got. He auditioned for it as well, but his voice ended
Yeah.
up being used in the film. So
Right.
he was just as surprised as everyone that it blew up in that way, and he got to be a part of that. But he was still working at P.F. Chang's serving rice and also like doing these
Yeah.
street team marketing things because it hadn't popped off in the way that it did yet. So Yeah, we met very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
We actually, for Verizon, it was a feature on a phone that you could download music straight to your phone. That's how
Okay.
long ago this was. That was like, you have to stop. We have to show you this. And it would
Yeah.
take 5 minutes, and we would have to keep that person with us for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
which is such a tall order. They'd be like, I gotta go. You're like, no,
Right.
your song's coming though.
Right.
So just remembering how like that technology has grown so much. But that's, very humble beginnings. So
Yeah, and like we talked about in the beginning, like trying to meet and build your community out here
Yeah.
and finding like-minded people. And I think it's so cool that, yes, you both have had a career in the entertainment industry, but you met through a side job that
Yeah.
you had.
Yeah.
And like that, those survival jobs, you could meet your best friends, you can meet your life partner.
Absolutely. And we had a great core group of friends from that because everyone that worked there, for the most part, was in entertainment or aspiring to do something else. So we all understood where we were at. We were all on similar journeys. So it's a great place to meet people at your survival job for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
you both have worked in this industry. Have you been able to like learn from each other in your careers as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We do help each other from time to time with auditions. Now,
Yeah.
not so much because of our kid. It's been
Yeah.
harder. So, like, Drew will go to a self-tape studio instead of down to our office where we used to be able to do it together because
Okay,
it's
yeah.
harder to the amount. Like, that's his, like, main thing. So
Yeah.
he's getting a lot. And it keeps him busy. So, yeah, we still give each other advice. We have had to obviously change our course a little bit with having a
Yeah.
child. We can't be as busy as we once were because we are not the
Right.
people that I want to be with my kid. And again, no shade at people who have nannies and all of that. But to me, number one, I didn't want to have to like work harder to pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I like my
right.
life balance.
Yeah.
And we have a great network we started a childcare co-op. Like we've been very resourceful as far as using our community, which I think is very special because
Yeah.
she's good friends with these kids that she's grown up with. And so we have a really tight community, but it has made us think twice about doing certain jobs. Like, can you be away for this long? What do we need at home? So, and your priorities have to shift a little. It doesn't mean forever, but while our child was so young and is so young, yeah, it's okay to take a pause to try. And
Yeah.
he's focusing a lot more on music these days. He's releasing a lot
Okay.
of music. And I have this great gig here. So we can't be
Yeah.
he can't be going to, out of state for 2 months to film as like he used to.
Right.
So I do thank him for taking that back seat for a little bit, just while my job that provides us health insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes priority right now. So that's what relationships are. It's a give and take. And
Right.
we're not just out for ourselves anymore, which when you have a kid, it does change things.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's just a new phase of life. It's not forever. And we'll see what comes next. You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right, we're gonna get into some hot takes in Hollywood.
Okay.
So this is gonna be like a quick this or that.
Okay.
Okay. Hosting or acting?
Ooh, hosting.
Talk shows or news?
Oh, talk shows.
Talk shows.
Yeah.
I think so too.
The news depresses me.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah, especially right now.
It's
Yeah.
hard. Be informed, but then go watch a talk show and balance it out.
Exactly. Love that.
Yeah.
Live TV or pre-taped?
Ooh, I love live TV.
Yeah.
There's something just so immediate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps you on your toes. I love it.
Definitely. Red carpet or studio show?
Ooh. I used to love a red carpet show. I did
Yeah.
a few for Yahoo when like the Hunger Games and Twilight, when they would
Oh,
do those
so
giant
cool.
premieres. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Teleprompter or memorization?
Oh, I have to do both. And I say I do like memorization because it keeps you more in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Prompter's great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, there's something really just it gives that extra spark about
Yeah.
memorizing it.
It's even with acting, like when
Yeah.
you're reading lines,
Yeah.
when you memorize, there's more room to play because you know the
Exactly.
material.
Yeah, it's like have that scaffolding and then you can find the freedom within it.
Yeah, exactly. Auditioning or being on set?
Being on set,
Duh.
hands down.
Yeah.
I did used to love auditioning, though. We were talking about this before.
Yeah.
When it was in person, when you got to go in a room, I really did love auditioning because
Yeah.
it was like if I never get to play this role, I get to do it right now.
Right.
And that is how I would look at things. And I would have so much fun with it. So
Yeah.
nowadays it's a little different. That's been stripped away with the self-tapes.
Right.
So definitely just being on set because there's a, you get to let your guard down and you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Comedy or drama?
Oh, I'm a comedy girl
Me
all the
too.
way.
Me
All the
too.
way.
And morning shows or late night?
Morning shows. I'm not a
Yeah.
night owl anymore, being the mom of a little one. I fall asleep at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
there's no more late night right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to do some fact or fiction. So we're
Okay.
going to clear up misconceptions in the industry.
Okay.
All right. The first one is that hosting's easy because you just read off of a teleprompter.
It is so not easy.
Right.
Because you have to make it look like you're thinking it too.
Yeah.
Not like you're reading. So
Yeah.
it's a very specific skill set in order to pull that off of a page and make it sound natural. And
Right.
it also is bringing yourself to the table, which when I first started, I would say I wasn't as secure in who I am as I am now. So you get to show up as you, but you also need to know who that is and be trusting of that. So it's simple, but it's not easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting to think about it that way. Like you want to bring you to it, but you also need to be clear on who that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, what are you giving?
Right.
You know?
You want to know who you're trying to show up as.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. You need to know someone to become a TV host.
It doesn't hurt, but you don't have to. I came here with no contacts at all and climbed that ladder and made contacts and auditioned I auditioned at E3 different times before I got offered a job. So sometimes it feels like, why am I doing this again? Again, you guys have already seen me, but it is what it is. Maybe there's new people that are watching those tapes, but just keep showing up. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You don't need to know someone. And my friend Doug, who I was just talking about, he always tells me that. He's like, you are one of the few people I know that like really came here and did it by yourself. And it can happen. It's not easy, but it absolutely can.
Yeah, that's very commendable and very inspiring, I'm sure, to everyone listening, because knowing and hearing your story of someone that came out here with nothing and made it happen for yourself, like, I think a lot of people, they get discouraged because they feel like they have to have an in somewhere. They need to know someone who's going to do that. So to hear your story, I think, is so inspiring to show people that you can do it. You just have to, be clear on what your goal is and do everything you can to make it happen.
You do have to work hard and you have to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely possible.
And then lastly, you have to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way.
You don't. And I would say when early in my career, I would have said something different.
Yeah.
Looking back now, you don't. Even that job that my friend Doug and I did where we were told, like, you'll never work again, we felt comfortable enough. He wanted us to drive to San Diego and shoot a free commercial. And we were both like, first of all, the gas money alone. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
So it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
It won't always feel good. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It might feel like the wrong thing, but it is the right thing. The people pleaser in you do need to squash that because you do have to sit with your intuition. Does this feel right? Is it costing me something? It shouldn't cost you something other than your effort, right? But like financially, you should not be in the hole from doing something for someone.
Yeah.
So, and even now, we talked about this a little. I went vegan 2 years ago. I don't eat meat anymore. And so I got a voiceover audition for chicken. And I thought, I can't in good faith, I don't want to be representing this.
Right.
I don't want to tell people to go eat this if I don't eat it and I don't believe in it. So I politely turned it down. And a few years ago, I would have felt like, oh gosh, my agent's going to be so mad at me. They're not going to send me on auditions anymore. And that week I got 3 other auditions. So you do have to just stand firm in it, let the chips fall as they might, and know at the end of the day that when you're in alignment, nothing feels better than that.
Definitely.
And what is for you will come to you.
Yes, and having that discernment in this industry is so important because
It is.
you don't want to lose yourself or do something that you said, like you wouldn't in good faith feel comfortable promoting that. It wouldn't feel authentic to you.
It wouldn't.
And when you're living in alignment, I think things flow to you.
They
because
do.
when you're true to who you are, it'll leave the things behind that aren't meant for you and just bring in more that is meant for you.
Yes, and it's much clearer.
Yeah.
That channel's clearer. It's not just like anything will do. It's like very specific things will do. And what am I comfortable making money off of? You do have to sit with that for yourself. If making money is the end all be all, then, your values might not be at the forefront. But for me, that's not where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I say that from a place of privilege. I do have
Right.
to, that's a caveat. When you're surviving and trying to come up, it's harder to say that
Yeah.
because you do need to make money. And I
Right.
get that. So it is this really hard catch-22. But yeah, at the end of the day, you really have to just check in with yourself
Yeah.
and know that those decisions are going to stick with you. So,
Right.
stay true to you.
Yeah, definitely. And what's your industry ick? What's on
Oh,
your industry betrayal list?
on my industry ick. Oh, that's funny. I mean, it's changed so much. I would say in my early 20s, there was a lot. The Me Too movement exposed a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for that because that has changed so much in
Yeah.
how we are treated and how we know what to accept on a set and what's not appropriate, and that you absolutely can say no and stick up for
Yes.
yourself. Um,
I'm very thankful for that too. As
yeah,
like the newer generation coming up in this industry, having that all kind of like laid out.
yes.
Because yeah, and across dance, across it all, like there's things that go on that aren't okay, and
Yes.
I'm very thankful for those women speaking out and paving the way for younger women to have safer working environments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I would say that would definitely have been an industry ick.
Yeah.
I was background on a commercial once, and my scene, we were in a car and it was supposed to be all steamed up like we were making out. And he's
Yeah.
like, we should just really kiss. And I was like, why? You can't see.
Right.
We're acting.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff you deal with
Mm.
where you're like, huh? And you do have to stand firm. And like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's necessary. But it makes you feel like you're being,
Yeah.
I'm not the cool one now because I'm saying
Right.
no to that.
Or like
but
makes you feel like you're being difficult. where it's like
yes.
they shouldn't have put you in that position in the first place to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a lot more consideration around the experience
Yeah.
for people. Yeah, that would be my industry ick, is trying to get more out of someone than they're comfortable, pushing you to do work that just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my industry ick too.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
icky.
It is. It really is. And so you're on Call Sheet Confessions.
Yes.
Amy, what is your Call Sheet confession?
Ooh, okay. That's like something, explain to me real quick.
So yeah, it could be a chaotic behind the scenes moment. It could be a time you failed or messed up, but then turned it into something else, or yeah, a time you were fired, or like just like a crazy behind the scenes that people wouldn't know.
Ooh, okay. Let me think about that real quick.
Yeah, take
What
your
do I want to
time.
say? There was a show I was on, and I was so excited to be on this show. It was season 2. We were going into season 3. On season 2, there was some stuff happening on the shoot with a security guard overstepping with some of the women, and it was it was before the Me Too movement.
Okay.
And everyone was kind of sharing these stories about like, he's giving me the ick, this feels really weird. And it wasn't
Yeah.
happening to me, but I was like, but hell no.
Right.
Like I was actually close with this person, and I was like, I'm not going to be like friendly with him if he's doing all this to you
Yeah.
guys. So I kind of stuck my nose out and brought it up to production, and he ended up getting fired, which he should
Wow.
have after what
Yeah.
he was doing.
Definitely.
But then the next season, I didn't get asked back. And so I thought, I don't think it's related. I think they wanted to boost the rating, so they went with someone that had a big online following. But it definitely was in the back of my mind, like, did I dig my own grave with that? But I knew I did the right thing.
Yeah.
So I had to just grieve through that loss, allow that to happen, know that I still would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I stood up for people and didn't let that go further where
Yeah.
somebody was actually hurt. So if
Yeah.
I have that power to make a change, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
And when all that came out with the Me Too movement, I was like, I absolutely did the right thing.
Yeah,
So whether or
definitely.
not that benefited me in the end, I couldn't sit on that knowing that I
Yeah.
didn't speak out, but I still
Right.
had my job the next season.
Right, exactly. Because then if you did have that job, but then you know that
It was an unsafe environment and somebody got really hurt by this person, I would not
Right.
feel okay with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a hard thing to rectify, but right after I did get let go from that show, I found this meditation studio and I just dove into meditation, and I really got to kind of heal that part of me that my identity was so wrapped up in what I
Yeah.
did, and I shed that. It was like an ego death.
yeah.
So it couldn't have been better. Honestly, like it made me grow in a way that was immense, that I wouldn't have happened if I never had gotten fired. So sometimes those are
Right.
great learning experiences, and it wasn't fun to go through, but with
Yeah.
that distance now, I know I did the right thing, and it
Definitely.
gave me more fuel for the future.
Right.
And now I'm not so tied to like, this is me. It's not me. It's one part of what I do.
Yes. Which is so important, I think, for people to learn in this industry,
Yeah.
especially like, like actors going out for roles. If you're not booking roles and then you're feeling negatively about yourself
Yeah.
because of that, it doesn't discount everything else about you as a person. It's
Yes.
just one side of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one part. And that's why I think, like we've been saying, going out and filling up your cup and feeling good about
Yeah.
your life and having a full, rich life that isn't just one faceted.
Right.
If you're only measuring your success on your bookings, that's going to be a pretty bleak life because it's really
Yeah.
hard. It's really hard. So you have to love your life regardless of what's happening in your career, and that shines. That's why people get booked, is because they're
Yeah.
so there's an infectious energy about them because they're having a good time. They're not like needing this. The
Yeah.
needing of it is what I think kills it.
Yes.
So,
'Cause you want to remember why you love it in the first place and enjoy it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's just one part of you. It's not when you peel everything away, the I am is still there. I'm still here
Yeah.
without any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, for anyone listening who wants to become a TV host and work in this industry, what is your advice to them?
My advice is be so authentically you, get so in touch with who you are, and be fearless about that. Like, really, truly swaying with the crowd or going with what, the group mentality is not going to serve you. So really being clear about that and really following your bliss on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Find what fills you up, what lights you up inside, and do it. And surround yourself with good people and make sure you have a nurturing community around you, because even though I did start off pushing on my own, there have been so many people who have helped me along the way. So I can't say I'm like self-made. It was coming from me. It was all I was motivating myself. I didn't have like a family I have a family, but I didn't have like the parental support. And not because they didn't want to, it was just the ability wasn't there. So yeah, having good people around you, recognizing that, and being good to people, just being a kind person. And again, that presence, showing up, being there, getting to know people, talking to people when you're on set, and not being on your phone. Put your phone away.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I spend time with people, I'm very conscious of putting my phone down, putting it away. Like, because I want to spend time with the person that I'm with. But, probably because it's kids and people in my generation, they're like, I have this one friend, she's always on her phone. And I'm like, we have this time to share together. And I want to be looking at you and looking you in the eyes and not having to talk to you when you're on your phone. But I know there's this, like, people have this, like, addiction to it, I think, But I think being conscious of it and taking those breaks, putting it down, and looking up and enjoying the world around you. Like, especially Los Angeles, we live in California. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, take it in.
Yes.
We don't need to have our phones up and, all the time.
What is more interesting here than what's right in front of us? Like, truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
I saw this video from Coachella. I think it was Madonna and Sabrina Carpenter were performing. And there was just a bunch of people.
A sea of phones.
Yes.
I know.
And I'm like, take in the moment.
Yeah.
Madonna's in front of you.
Yes.
You know?
Like, I'm all for capturing some clips and moving on. But yes, that bothers me too, especially if you're the performer out there and you're looking out at phones. Like, what a different experience, Like, you look at videos from like the early 2000s and it's not bad.
Right.
And so like, it's so different. And yeah, are you really going to go back and look at your grainy footage and be like, yeah, I'm so glad I filmed this. Like, half the stuff I film is useless anyway.
Yes.
So like, yes, just soak it up. Just be there.
Yes.
You'll remember that more than if you're taking yourself out of it to film it or to be on your phone. Yeah, it's one of my biggest pet peeves is like, everyone's always just like, you're missing out on opportunities to be bored and to strike up a conversation.
Yes.
There's
and meet
beauty in
someone
that.
who loves the same artist that you do,
Yes.
My first concert was a Taylor Swift concert, and I filmed so much. I took it in, but I also was filming so much because it was my first ever concert, and I learned right then and there, I was like, I'm never going to really watch these videos again, and I think like you said, capture the moment, take one video, I was there, you
Yeah.
know, but you don't need to film the whole thing. Like, what you're going to
No.
remember is being there and watching it on
Yes.
stage. you know?
Dancing, moving, being in sync with her, like you were saying, when you're doing a live
Yes.
performance. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and at other concerts I've been to, the people next to me were singing the same songs. We love the
Yeah.
same artist, and then you can meet friends and connect with people.
Yes.
But if you're so into your phone, you're gonna miss what's happening all
Yeah.
around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
and especially on set. I know, like, Julia Roberts, like, knits. Like, people do something with your hands to pass the
Yeah.
time. But to just be scrolling on your phone, it's the biggest waste of your time.
Yeah, I've been taking up
Truly.
scrapbooking.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, I putter around the Crafty, and I'm like, what's everybody doing?
Yes, yes. Speaking of crafty, what is your go-to crafty snack on set?
Oh, gosh. There's these little packets that our Crafty has that are like broth packets, and they're like
Ooh.
pho broth or like a tomato
Ooh.
broth, and I'll heat that up. It's like a sipping broth.
Yeah.
And I love them, and I've never seen them on any other set.
Yeah.
So
that's
I
nice.
kind of stockpile them. Sorry. I have them in my bag so that whenever they're not there, I have them. But it's like a
Yeah.
warm beverage. I love like a hot tea or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But it also nourishes my belly, but it's not too much. It's not something heavy. Like before I go
Yeah.
on, I don't want to eat something big, but it's nice in
Right.
those moments when it's like we're going into dinner, but I still need to have something, and
Yeah.
I love those. So those are definitely one of my new go-tos.
Yeah.
And I love like obviously the soda. I like Poppy and Olipop's. Like they've started
Yes.
bringing those, so I've been drinking those.
That's nice.
Yeah.
we got to get that broth on more crafty
I
sets, 'cause I
know.
would love to
I
have
know.
those
And
too.
it took me a while to even find them because they were just, kind of hidden. I was like, what are these?
Yeah.
And she'll make amazing things. Our craft services is wonderful. I have a soy allergy and I'm vegan, so I'm the most pain in the butt person. But she's so good. She's like, oh, you can have this. There's no soy. So
Oh,
she'll tell me.
nice.
And like tater tots,
That's amazing.
a tater
Yeah.
tot bar. I'm like, yes. I just put my tater tots with my hot sauce and I'm good to go.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so nice that she's so accommodating, because
Yes.
I'm gluten-free and dairy-free, and so it can
yeah,
be tough
you know,
on
it's
sets.
challenging.
Yeah. So it's nice that you have that person that's
Yes,
accommodating, wants to help, and
It's very sweet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
the least of her worries, but it's nice to be looked out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my last question, Amy, is are you living your dream, and what's next for you?
I am so living my dream. It
Yay.
is everything and then some that I could have
Yeah.
ever expected. I have stability, I have flexibility. I'm still surprised and excited, and I never would have thought I'd ended up on a talk show with Jennifer Hudson. That was
Yeah.
not on my bingo card, but it's been such a delight. And
Yeah.
what's next? What's next is I'm writing a book. So one of my favorite jobs that I ever did was for Spectrum News here in Los Angeles, and I was a reporter there. So I did use my journalism degree. I shot, wrote, edited, everything. And I did pieces, weekly pieces, and it was called What's Good. And it was focusing on
So cool.
philanthropies, nonprofits, women-owned businesses, So I have all of this information that I'm now
Yeah.
putting into a guidebook. So
That's amazing.
yes, so that should be coming. I am puttering away at getting that done. So that's my what's next. And hopefully I'll be making the talk show rounds and getting to talk about it. And with the Olympics
Yeah.
coming, my goal is to get that out so that when people come, if you want to volunteer while you're here, here's where you can go. It's really just
Yeah.
getting it's a cheat sheet to community too. If
Right.
you move here and you don't know where to go, what to do, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's amazing places where you're going to meet really awesome people with very progressive values.
yeah. That's super exciting. I can't wait.
Thank
to,
you.
Yeah, to see
I'm really
that.
excited. The work, and when I go back through and I do the work, it lights me up just to remember the work I've
Yeah.
already done. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. And the people that I met through that were still very connected. And so I feel like it's got more life. Like they deserve to have the spotlight again and again and
Yeah.
again. And this is the way it can live on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where can we follow you, support you, and check this out?
On my socials at Amy Paffrath. I'm very active on Instagram. That's probably the one platform I use
Yeah.
the most. So you can get in touch with me there, follow along, and you'll get updates. And the book will be out soon.
Yay! Can't wait. Well, thank you, Amy, so much for coming on Call Sheet Confessions.
Thank you, Mia. This was lovely.
Yes, and thank you everyone for watching this episode of Call Sheet Confessions. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at Call Sheet Confess Pod. Like always, make sure to work hard and chase the dream. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Ooh.
May your call times be reasonable and your checks be on time. And like my Mimi always says, break a leg, but not really. We'll see you next time. Bye.